I've been discouraged, disheartened even, but maybe not for the reasons you might expect. Don't get me wrong, I miss seeing you and other dear friends. I miss singing the hymns of our faith together. I miss watching the children move forward during children's time. I miss going out to eat on occasion. I miss running errands without having to think about how many days have passed since the last time I went out. I miss hearing the occasional amen. I miss seeing people out and about. I miss sensing the Spirit move among us, helping us to settle in and receive a word in common spirit and wisdom. I miss ball games and lock-ins, plays, concerts, and dance recitals. I miss getting a haircut. I miss moving about freely. I miss gathering with friends and breaking bread. I miss gathering with the youth, playing games, hearing of their days and weeks, hearing their developing dreams, and sharing words of our faith with them. I miss conversations. I miss laughter. I miss meeting with you to hear ideas and dream new dreams together, in person, face to face. While some of these things can be achieved through the telephone, and while some of these things are happening through virtual outlets, life just hasn't been the same. We miss the shared experience and the shared presence. We are indeed social creatures. Introvert, extrovert, shy, or outgoing, it matters not. We need to be connected to one another. We enjoy handshakes, hugs, fist bumps, and high fives. But I'm not discouraged because of any of those present realities. Things will return to normal one day. Things will be different, I suspect. Some of us will interact and carry ourselves a little differently. And more of us may keep hand sanitizer on hand for a while anyway. We may get different cleaners or clean more diligently. We may learn from the past few days and approach life anew with a different kind of pace. Despite our present circumstances of being confined to our homes, I'm not discouraged. I'm not discouraged because of the change of routine. In many ways, I'm actually encouraged by that. No, I'm discouraged. I'm discouraged because we missed it again. We missed an opportunity. We missed the warning signs. We missed the chance to pay attention to the needs of another. At the beginning of March, coronavirus, as it was commonly referenced then, seemed well beyond us. The people in China, they battled the disease's outbreak. They encountered it and battled it as a new year was about to begin. Wuhan, which I am quite certain I had never seen on a map or read on the menu of an Asian restaurant, that was the hot zone of all this. Limited to no information circulated there the way our daily press briefings do now. No, there was a buffer, a wall, an ocean, a great chasm between us and what they endured. It was unfortunate. It was terrible. We couldn't accept, and maybe we even judged their leaders for having their people dragged into quarantine. Pity and prayers, empathy and concern. But like so many recent viruses and ailments, it would pass. It wouldn't get here. It'd be like the bird flu and mad cow disease. Coronavirus would bubble on our radar and fade before it really impacted our lives. Oh, how naive we must have been. We were still entering the new year. We enjoyed an early crawfish season, anticipated Mardi Gras, prepared for Lent, and waited for Easter. In January, cases wandered into Washington State and into New York. But still, that's miles away. It'd take forever for it to land here. And again, we don't think of people in Washington State or New York City being quite like us. But hey, everyone enjoys a good party, like Mardi Gras, right? I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in the church writ large. I missed an opportunity to be fully concerned about the needs of another. Maybe you did too. A few Sundays ago, I got curious. I was seeking to learn. I sought context. I sought understanding. I looked for ideas. How did the church, Big C Church, respond in past crises and epidemics? How could that history influence and inspire how we might navigate this pandemic on a ministerial front? I did not find the inspiring examples I had hoped to find. There certainly have been moments of hope since people have opened their restaurant or continued to serve out food through to-go menus and processes. People have stitched masks inside their own home. Some of you have been among the ones doing those very things. Friends are delivering groceries. Celebrities and others are donating supplies and manufacturing things deep in the heart of Texas to help with this pandemic as on the medical front. There have been many days of long despair and just not knowing what to do. Leviticus contains many passages about people paying attention to the needs of another. The book tells how Old Testament people are to live. Leviticus 19:9-10 tells us this: when you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap the very edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Do not go over your vineyard a second time or pick up the grapes that have fallen. Leave them for the poor and the foreigner. I am the Lord your God. The passage, coupled with the commandments to love our neighbors, reminds us to remember the needs of the other. It's a great underlying concept within Christianity. As much as people tend to think of ourselves and our own needs, faith compels us to think beyond ourselves and look to others. In the act of loving others, we discover things about ourselves and about God. The passage in Leviticus commands that we are to be mindful of the needs of another, even people we may not be able to see. The poor and the foreigners, the stranger, the other. They can live among us without being seen. They can travel into our land without us knowing. And yet, Leviticus compelled the people to remain aware. The Israelites didn't have the luxury of international news networks. They simply had a code. That code, God's law, guided them in every aspect of their lives. We can learn from that. We can remember that the world as we know it is much more connected than even the Israelites experienced it. Trade routes existed and cultures met and mingled. Long journeys brought people and spices together. We can hop on a plane or jump on an interstate route and quickly be in proximity to vastly different cultures, reside in different countries, and visit vastly different continents. My prayer is that as we arise and recover from this epidemic, that we will be more mindful of others. Physical distance and different cultural experiences shouldn't define our prayers, and they don't. But sometimes, my prayers have not included a need of someone else quickly enough. We're learning from this experience of being apart. And I pray we remember those lessons long after we've been able to return to each other's company. In Christ's love and mercy. Amen.